Welcome to MojoPlays, and we might be nearing the end of the 9th generation of consoles, but you wouldn't know it by comparing the graphics of some PS4 games to the current gen PS5 titles. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Assassin's Creed Unity. Despite a rocky launch in the early days of the PS4, Assassin's Creed Unity eventually landed with its leap of faith and remains a showcase for the series' potential. Incredibly dense crowds, which could feature up to potentially 30,000 NPCs, brought revolutionary Paris to life, and the immaculately detailed environments full of real-life recreations of historical landmarks at one-to-one scale were just waiting to be explored. It's likely due to all this technical wizardry, the game was so broken at launch, with the engine failing to keep up with the ambitions of the developers. However, after a series of patches, not only is Unity in the best possible state it's ever been, but remains a standout in the series that has struggled to recapture the same scale and density of the streets of Paris, even after multiple follow-up entries and over a decade later.
Let these tenets be branded upon your mind. Follow them and be uplifted. Break them at your peril. Rise, assassin.
Devil May Cry 5.
Alright, time to kick some ass.
The Devil May Cry series has always been just as much about the spectacle as the game's liquid smooth combat, and with the series' 5th entry, Capcom set a new benchmark for the entire series. The RE engine continues to prove to be one of the most versatile and powerful engines in gaming today, with incredible facial animations and some of the most detailed environments and enemies in not only the entire DMC series, but also on the PS4. The splashy combat mechanics and particle effects make each encounter feel like an anime or comic book panel come to life, and the variety of locations and enemies the players encounter make each new arena feel fresh and unique. Even better, the game runs at a rock-solid frame rate with almost no hiccups, allowing for pitch-perfect precision in each encounter and some of the most jaw-dropping cinematics on the PS4. Bloodborne.
Whatever happens, you may think it all a mere bad dream.
A large part of what makes FromSoft games timeless is their impressive art direction, and Bloodborne remains one of the best examples of the studio's talents to date. The entire city of Yharnam and its surrounding areas have a realistic, grimy feel to them, and the impressive blood physics and the way they coat nearly every surface in the surrounding area, including the player themselves, gives the world another level of ick. The Victorian architecture is some of the most detailed FromSoft has ever created, and their monster designs are both disgustingly and intricately designed, making you take in every detail of the many monstrous creations as they pound you into a bloody pulp. The sense of relief at seeing the sunshine breaking through the steeples of the nearby church after narrowly surviving the dark and foreboding underbelly of the city remains unparalleled in FromSoft's extensive catalog.
Try to keep your hands clean. Leave the hunting of hunters to me.
Battlefield 1. The Battlefield series has always set a high bar for itself with each new entry, but for Battlefield 1, the devs at DICE set the bar so high, even they couldn't surpass it. Never before had combat felt so viciously realistic to the point where those with weak constitutions likely developed PTSD after a few short missions. The trench warfare combined with the hyper-realistic setting and world design remains unparalleled in a genre that has been becoming increasingly over the top. The explosions combined with the game's masterful audio design puts you right in the fight of your life where every bullet counts. The sounds of your comrades dying and the enemies surrounding you with some of the most impressive graphics, level design, attention to detail in every weapon and setting that the Frostbite engine has ever created, and remains a fan favorite in the long-running series.
Every once in a while, We push hard enough that the light breaks through the clouds, and a world beyond the war glimmers.
The Last of Us Part II.
You remember me? Yeah. You remember me.
Naughty Dog have always pushed the boundaries of what was thought possible graphically in video games, and after Uncharted 4 originally set the bar, The Last of Us Part II shattered it. The unprecedented level of detail in everything from characters' clothing to weapons, environmental storytelling of a decaying world, and facial animations have yet to be surpassed by anything else from Naughty Dog or the industry overall. The dynamic lighting and cinematic camera angles bring the actors' performances to life in scary realistic detail, pushing the medium closer to actual filmmaking than any other game to date. Despite the mixed reception from some fans, there's no denying that The Last of Us Part II is one of the most visually stunning games on the PS4 and the perfect swan song for the system, much like how the original Last of Us was for the PS3, pushing that system to its limits as well.
I know you wish things were different. I wish things were different. But they ain't.
InfamousSecondSon.
There's a way.
Hello, Science Center District. I lost you. Do you read me?
It's hard to believe that Second Son launched within the first few months of the PS4's life cycle, but over a decade later, it could easily pass for a next-gen title. The character animations, along with the dystopian recreation of Seattle, remains impressively detailed, particularly with the game's unmatched lighting physics. Before the days of ray tracing, Second Son was a powerhouse showcase example of the studio and the PS4's lighting tech, with realistic reflections and particle effects, and a surprising amount of environmental destruction. Exploring the dense world filled with NPCs, enemy encampments, and a neon-soaked nightlife made even more jaw-droppingly gorgeous by the game's frequent rainfall. Delson's powers explode off the screen with so many particle effects, it's shocking the game never falters. And the DLC First Light manages to somehow stun even further thanks to Fetch's light-based power set.
No.
Driveclub. Racing games have always pushed their respective consoles to their limits with their graphical details, but even when compared to the juggernaut Gran Turismo series, Driveclub races laps around the competition. Besides the outstanding detail work on the vehicles themselves, Driveclub has some of the most realistic weather physics in the genre, and their impressive day-night cycle along with their dynamic environments and tracks elevated the game to the upper echelon for racing sim enthusiasts. Several post-launch updates added even more features to the game, including more tracks inspired by real-world locations, in addition to motorbikes and even VR support, putting players directly in the driver's seat, fully immersing them in the racing experience and the intricately detailed interiors of their lean, mean racing machine. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Why don't you take a few of us up there right now? I got this, Dutch. Should be fun. All right, you. Come on. Let's go.
Rockstar have always been industry leaders in every aspect of the medium, and Red Dead Redemption 2 is undoubtedly the studio's magnum opus. With RDR2, Rockstar created one of the most realistically detailed and intricately designed open worlds of all time, perfectly recreating the Wild West and all of its many biomes and environments for players to explore and immerse themselves in. Character and facial animations are in a league of their own and elevate the impeccable storytelling to new heights, even for Rockstar. Everything in the game is dripping with detail, from the individual characters themselves to the smaller details of the weapons, the camps, and outfits, all without losing a single frame of graphical fidelity. The world's weather effects, NPC interactions, environmental storytelling, and jaw-dropping vistas remain unchallenged by contemporary games, and it's doubtful anyone but Rockstar themselves will be able to surpass the incredibly high standards set by Red Dead Redemption 2.
It would mean a lot to me. Please. Ain't no more time for talk. Go.
The Order 1886.
Galahad, acknowledge. This is command.
I read you, Percival.
Enjoying a stroll in the park, are we?
Nothing quite like a chilly London morning to stimulate the senses.
Ever since its debut trailer, The Order 1886 was a showstopper for the PS4. The alternate history Victorian London is wonderfully realized with its murky haze and fog-laden streets accentuating the steampunk aesthetic and gothic architecture. With some of the most impressive facial capture tech in the industry, even by today's standards, every animation is so realistically animated, and the level of detail within every environment and interactive item remains jaw-dropping even a whole decade and a new console later. The Order 1886 is also one of the most cinematic games on the PS4, with an unprecedented level of detail paid to every aspect, including its world building and creature designs. It's truly a shame the game never received a sequel to build on all the groundwork laid by Ready at Dawn and their ambition to push the PS4 to its limits only a couple years into its life cycle.
Hanging up your colors so soon?
The Order cannot be seen as having any part of this.
BatmanArkhamKnight.
Sorry, I've got to go. Stay safe, Barbara. You still know how to make an entrance.
Over the course of 3 games, Rocksteady perfected the definitive Batman experience, and with Arkham Knight, they gave us the ultimate Batman simulator within the Gotham City we always imagined all those years reading Batman's adventures. The dark, foreboding atmosphere and pristine art direction is dripping with environmental details, and the open world of Gotham City is full of Easter eggs for die-hard fans and countless oddities to uncover as you clean up the streets of Gotham. The addition of the Batmobile might have been a bit overutilized, but careening through the densely packed and rain-soaked streets, demolishing any architecture in our way, was the power fantasy we always hoped for. Not even Rocksteady's next-gen only follow-up Suicide Squad could match the level of detail in Arkham Knight, and the less said about the substantial downgrade of Gotham Knights, the better.
It's done. Gotham is safe. Thank you, Bruce. For everything.
Which PS4 game do you feel looks better than anything on the PS5? Share your picks in the comments. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips for MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.